This
This
is
is
Not
Not Your
Your Average
Average
Couple
Couple podcast.
podcast.
I'm your host, Ray.
And I am Eves St. Tello. And we are the St. Tellos.
That's right.
We've we've wanted to we feel like we're not the average couple, hence the name. And so as we've grown closer and gotten more mature in our walk with Christ, and as we've grown closer in our marriage, we we've come to the realization that our story is unique and can help a lot of people. So here we are with the Not Your Average Couple podcast, and we're going to jump right into it.
Okay. So, do you want to go first on your perspective on how we met?
I mean, my perspective is cooler than your perspective, so
Okay.
so we'll do my perspective because your perspective, you were just a bystander. I was really the one putting in the work to make this thing a thing. What, 11 years later, 12 years later, right? So,
Okay.
leave it to the men to never know exactly what the time frame is. But anyways, so how did we meet? This is if all of you, those of you that have seen the movie Love and Basketball, this is a real love and basketball story. Um, where was I? I was at a gym. So we met in Orlando. I was at a gym called the Northwest Center, and um, there was this girls' team practicing, and I remember seeing her there practicing, and all right, first time you see somebody, you can kind of notice them and not not think nothing of it. Well, the next time I'm at this gym, now I see the same individual practicing alone. All right, so let's backtrack. I'm a basketball guy. She's obviously a basketball girl. Basketball is one of the things that basketball saved my life pretty much. So basketball got me to college. It got me my degrees. It led me to see places outside of the country, got to play overseas a little bit, coach, train, you name it. All right. So that's that. You'll probably hear more about that as the podcast, as the story unfolds. However, I'm at this gym for the second time, and now this girl is practicing alone by herself. So now I'm kind of supposed to be doing me, but I'm watching her. Okay, I'm watching her. I'm in this basketball league. I'm actually getting ready to leave for college, for junior college soon around that time. I'm still trying to figure out where I'm going. I'm not sure where I'm going. Um, so I'm supposed to be in the gym working on my game. With that being said, there is this men's league that I'm in. So in conjunction with me playing, I'm also in conjunction with me practicing and working out, I'm also playing in a men's league to stay sharp, stay ready. At that time, the coach had asked for me to send him some film, some footage. So, I'm in this league and I'm getting footage and I'm doing all those things. This league had a women's side. And so I go to play in this league. Lo and behold, this girl is playing in the same league. All right. So to not bore y'all with me just talking, I'm going to ask her a quick question. Did you ever notice me in this league? Don't lie on camera.
I did not.
You did not. All right. She did not even notice me. But up to this point, she hadn't noticed me once, and I noticed her 3 times. Okay. So I'm seeing her in this league. I'm like, man, like 3 times. This got to be a sign. This got to be a sign. So whatever. As most of us, sometimes we ignore signs. Life went on. Had this friend of mine back then. She also hooped, and so I I went with her or took her, drove her. I'm kind of fuzzy on the details, to one of her college tryouts or workouts that
Mm-hmm.
um, that she was trying to get on a college team at the time. So we drove, I don't know, hour and a half or so outside of the city for her to go to this workout. And was it St. Pete?
Mm-hmm. I
It
think so.
it was two of them. It was
Oh,
St. Pete, and didn't you go to the Warner tryouts
Warner
or workouts?
Southern?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah.
So the first one, St. Pete, that's about an hour and a half or more. So drove all the way out there, and this girl was at this workout. Up to this point, now I've seen her 4 times, and now I feel like I'm either obsessed or I should be obsessed. I don't know. I'm confused. So on the ride back, I talked to my girl. Her name was Slim. I'm like, yo, such and such was there. I've been seeing her, and she was saying how she knew you,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and at this point now I'm plotting, I'm scheming, and again I'm fuzzy on the details on if I asked her to do or say anything. I'm sure I did, um, but we go to another tryout or workout for Slim,
Mm-hmm.
and Ray is there again. Now, mind you, I'm seeing her at these places. I'm seeing her at the games, at the Winter Garden rec. Was it a church? It
Mm-hmm.
wasn't a church. It was a
Uh-uh.
rec. It was at the Winter Garden rec. Okay. Now we've been married for 11, but we've known or been together for more than that. So if you're
Mm-hmm.
wondering why it's fuzzy, it's because we got about 15 years in this thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, um, seeing her again for the sixth time, just, I mean, as random as it gets, and then seeing her every week after that, I knew I had to make a move. I knew it. I was like, okay, all right, I'm not gonna keep seeing her and not moving. This is ridiculous. All right, this is ridiculous. And so finally, when a guy doesn't really like a girl as much, he has more courage to go talk to that girl. At least in my experience. All right. When you really like a girl, at least back then, anyways, you send somebody else to go talk to her to kind of get the temperature and figure out, if that was any reciprocal interest.
Mm-hmm.
And so finally, I got Slim to go um, do my bidding. And when I when I did that, okay, that's when she finally became aware of who I was. So then I'll let you take it from there.
Well, I didn't know who you were at first. So Slim was like, "Hey, my brother said he want to talk to you," and I was like, "Well, who is he?" She was like, he be at the games and trying to explain it. And I'm like, I don't know who you're talking about. Like I wasn't paying attention, and so um, I remember this.
Leave it to them. They never pay attention.
I never paid attention because I was on my Little Rascals, like how the he man woman hating club, but it was the opposite for me. So, because I was like, nope, I'm just worried about me. I'm trying to go to school. I'm just focused. And so I remember this one particular game. We got our behinds handed to us this game, and it was right before Valentine's Day. And I was sitting. My dad was coaching, and so I was sitting on
The
this.
timing even aligned. It was around Valentine's Day. Come on.
Yeah, it was
Let's
close.
go.
It was close to Valentine's Day because I remember my dad saying, "Hey, there's a game close to Valentine's Day. Do any of you ladies have plans?" I was like, "Nope, I don't have plans. I'm single." so, so I remember after that game, we were sitting down. I was sitting like there. I think it was like a glass chest of like trophies or something like that. And I was sitting there and I was sweating, trying to catch my breath or whatever after the game. And then I just happened to look up and backstory. So the first time she told me about him, I asked how old he was. I can't leave this out. I said, "Well, okay, how old is he?" And she was like, "Oh, he's 19." And I was like, "Oh, he's too young." Mind you, we were born the same year. I'm in February, he's December. I was like, oh, he's too young because I was about to turn 20. So I was
She
like,
thought she was a grandma out here.
oh, he's too young. And so now, fast forward back to the game. After the game, I look up and I just see this tall, dark skinned guy with this fitted cap. And I was just like, he's handsome. I was like, who? He's cute. I was like, who is that? And she, leave it to Slim. She was like, girl, that's my brother I was telling you about. And I was like, okay, yeah, you can give him my number. And then after that, I had a Valentine's Day date. So I was good after that.
After that, she was no longer available for that basketball game. But yeah, so I mean, it took about 6 sightings just you know just to really decide or realize that all right, there's something there. Not
Yeah.
not necessarily there's something there. Like it's more so like okay,
This is not a coincidence.
this is not a coincidence. I think this is supposed to happen. And so if we could even backpedal before that, some people believe in fate. Some people don't. Some people believe in love at first sight. Some people don't. Okay. I was talking to my son recently, and he was expressing to me how he was grateful. We were in a car, he and I.
Okay.
So I don't think you know about this, but this was recently. We were in a car. I don't know where we were going or coming from, but he was expressing to me how he was grateful that I didn't make it as a basketball player, because then he wouldn't have been here.
Lo and behold.
And so I told him, I said, you know what? I don't think that's true, son. He was like, what do you mean? I said, I think I would have met your mom either way.
Yeah.
He was like, why do you say that? I said, well, when I feel like I was supposed to run into her before I actually met her, but we missed each other. And then we missed each other again. And then we missed each other until we finally met. He was like, really? I was like, yeah. We played against each other's schools in high school.
In 2 different cities.
And I mean, Jacksonville to Orlando to Jacksonville, where we would go on away games, or they would go on away games. And so, the girls always played before the boys. So like I faintly remember her then. Faintly remember her, but I remember her because I played against her brother.
Yeah.
Her brother played on the boys' team. And so therefore she was hanging around, obviously, watching her brother play. So I faintly remember her. Then after high school, we both went to this school who I shall not give no credit to. We both went to this school, but I went first.
Yeah.
I went first. Some things happened, and I left that school.
Yeah.
The year after,
I came.
She ends up at that school.
Yeah.
So had I stayed, we were supposed to have met each other then. And the way the school was set up, I mean, I'm gonna just be honest. I was one of, this is a college now. This is a college. I was one of maybe 5 Black students there. And so when she went there, she would have just been number. She would have been number 6 to 10, somewhere in there. Yeah. All right. Yeah. And this is not a small college. This is it's a small college, but this is a college where those numbers are outrageous. Okay. So we would have recognized each other. We would have known each other. Sure. And I left. I missed her. Okay. And so for us to miss each other in high school, miss each other at that first college, and then run into each other 6-ish different times before before she finally recognized me, I'm gonna put it that way. I realized it wasn't a coincidence. And so that's what I told my son. That's what I told Braden. was, I think we would have met each other either way,
Yeah.
and I think you would have been here either way. He was like, oh, okay. And I said, besides, you look more like me anyways. You would have still been here. That's what I told him. You look more like me anyway. So I
Copy
think
and
you would have
paste.
been I think you would have been all right. I think you'd have been all
Yeah.
right.
Copy and paste.
Yeah. So I mean, that's the story.
Yeah.
Did I miss anything?
It's just, I think us not running into each other sooner was because I probably wouldn't have been ready. Like around the time where my freshman year of college at that school, it was a healing year for me. And we'll probably go dive into that like
I mean,
in
you
another
brought it up.
episode.
Healing from what?
But well, healing from just in high school, some of the traumatic experiences I had went through. So going to that Christian school, it being so strict, and I kind of gave a little bit out, but it being so strict, it actually brought me closer to God and healing. That I needed that healing right at the time. So
Gotcha.
I think I was ready when I saw
Gotcha.
you.
I mean, the way you said, I'm single.
Yeah,
I can play.
like, I can play.
Yeah.
I don't have a Valentine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
But
know.
after that, I was like, I got plans.
Yeah. Did the game ever happen?
We didn't. No. Everybody was, cuffed up, and then by that time, I had a date, so I was like, I can't come either.
Yeah, that's funny.
And then when we first started dating, I remember right before I met you, actually, I had wrote a letter, like it was a prayer, and this is a part of our how we met too, right?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. But I had wrote a letter because
you finally get to talk about my greatness, so keep going.
Yeah. Keep going. So right before I met him, I wrote a letter, and it was in a prayer form, and I was like, I know key things.
You mean a poem form or prayer form?
It
or
was
both?
prayer, like dear God, like Lord Heavenly Father,
Yeah,
that type of way. And I know there's key things that I wanted in a husband, and it was so crazy after I met you when we started getting to know each other. Those things came out, and I did not recognize how much of that. I didn't realize or remember that letter until maybe last year. Like I feel like the Holy Spirit brought it to my attention.
I think it was like 2 years ago.
2 years
when
ago
you told
when I
me
told you
about the
it?
letter. Yeah.
Okay. So like 2 years ago, and I felt like the Holy Spirit was like, remember, this is what you prayed for. And I was like, oh shoot, like I remember.
I wonder why she needed to be reminded. I wonder. I guess we'll find. I guess we'll find out. Don't walk it back.
Okay, so let me go ahead and tell y'all. So I knew for a fact I wanted an athletic husband. I wanted tall, dark, and handsome. And then I also wanted something I used to do as a little girl was poetry. And I knew I remember that was one of the things that I put in my letter is poetry. And after meeting him, he made me a whole CD playlist of poems specifically for me. And I would put it in my CD player. We don't have those anymore, but yeah, I put it in my I put it in my CD player, and I would listen to those poems, and it's just it amazes me now because I was like, dang, I really did write that in my letter, and God gave exactly those things. And it's like,
I'm a gift, y'all.
Yeah. You are a blessing. You are. But yeah, it was crazy and shocking. Like, dang, you really did that, God. Like, that's what I put in my prayer. And it's like not something that's something that you would see often, like a basketball player but a poet. Yeah. Like the specific things I asked for, it was like, oh, tailor made. Like, yeah. And so yeah, that's one of the things that I wanted to.
That's awesome.
Talk about.
Well, I think it's one of those things where the reoccurrence of your sighting, I won't say our because you never saw me, the reoccurrence of your sighting was proof to me that okay, like something's got to give, and
Yeah,
I'm glad. I'm glad something gave.
me too. Cause we had a lot of good times. It still are.
Only the beginning. In fact, you're
Yeah.
getting this podcast from just our love for each other and our obedience to God, wanting
Yeah.
to share what He's done for us, and just
Yeah.
hopefully we can do for others as well, and through this platform. So
Mm-hmm.
we'll see.
Well,
All right.